going to talk about The Boys. So The Boys finale just dropped today, and I have some thoughts, and I wanted to jump on and talk about it quickly. Obviously, full spoilers ahead for The Boys Season 5 finale, and just all of The Boys in general. And just while I have you, make sure to subscribe before we jump into this. We'll go through the beats. So, Frenchie's funeral, fine. Again, all the stuff to do with their assholes was just a bit unnecessary, but, you know, it's The Boys, so what are you going to do? The scene between Homelander and Ryan in the cabin, I thought was very well done, and just really drove home to Homelander that he is nothing, and just sort of burying that hatchet in him that without his powers, as Ryan said, he has to scare people into thinking that he's God, because without his superpowers, he is literally nothing but a child, and he just really is one of the worst people on the planet. So I thought that was quite a strong opener between them, just to really hammer home the fact that Homelander is completely alone and that nobody wants to be around him. There's a quick little scene between Ashley and O-Father, bit of kinky stuff. They get like a titanium ball gag or whatever, which comes in later on, and Ashley, you can see, is battling with herself on the back of her head, but just battling her sort of inner demons about the fact that the stuff going on with Homelander is not good, but she's such a pussy that she doesn't want to do anything about it, and she's trying to get her head to sort of interact with O-Father, read his mind, see if there's any way that she could convince him to be on side, but the back of her head is not playing ball. So you can sort of see the setup with her confliction within herself, which I thought was very well done. Following on from that, then Sage starts to aggravate Kimiko just to get her angry to see if the chest blast is going to work. It does work. Sage doesn't have her powers anymore, and she fucks off, and thank God for it. Her exit as well, so cringe. Just, I feel like they had to overplay the fact that she was dumb. I don't know, it feels like the audience is being treated as dumb in moments like that, because they're like, okay, Sage lost her powers, we have to make her say really stupid things so that the people watching at home know that she's really stupid. And it's like, yeah, we get it, we understand. Chest blast, lose powers, she's stupid now. But I don't know, I feel like they just kept going with that, and it was kind of But then she leaves and is never seen again. Great, get her out of there, that's fine. Also, Gen V, what a waste of time. They just ended up being gratuitous cameos in this season. Like, they appeared in 2 episodes for a minute or 2 and didn't contribute to anything going on in this finale. And it was just the biggest waste of a spin-off. And it got cancelled as well. So it was just, again, completely useless. So then we jump to the Oval Office. They're preparing for Homelander's second coming as God. And he's interacting with O-Father and the Deep, and I feel like that final conversation between Homelander and the Deep was really good. I really enjoyed it. Just really crushing the Deep down to absolutely nothing, which is exactly what he should be. The Deep was one of the funniest characters in the show because of how just dumb he was, and I thought that he was played brilliantly. And just really Homelander delivering that final blow of how pathetic the Deep is, and coming from somebody like Homelander as well, like, that is horrendous to hear. So I thought that was quite a nice, neat bow on the Homelander Deep arc. Homelander proceeds to give his speech, and the boys start to storm the castle, and this is where it really picked up even another level for me. I thought that all of this stuff was great. The boys are coming in, they get trapped, and then Ashley comes to rescue them, and that sort of ties up her story, and then her head starts talking to her, says she's proud of her. So I feel like Ashley is finally settled within herself, that she was able to rise above the fear that she has had since the day that we met her as a character. So I thought that was good character growth for her, and I was very satisfied with how she went out like that. There's a little bit about her later, but we'll get to that. So the boys break their way through. They fight O-Father. Titanium ball gag goes in, he blows up his own head. I mean, that was quite funny, quite a good way to go. I had no attachment to O-Father. I just thought that was, it was good. Should have seen it coming, to be fair, but it was quite a funny way for him to die, so I'm happy enough with that. And then Starlight finally takes on the Deep, and I feel like this is one of the things that I thought was going to happen going into this season, and I predicted among my friends that Starlight was going to be the one to kill the Deep, and I'm very happy that she was. And I was glad that she was able to have the conversation with him on the beach beforehand and sort of be like, look, you're better than this. You can tell us that you're scared of Homelander and we can help you. And he's just such a Chad that he had to be like, no, fuck that, and then he died. Very satisfying to see him die. He was a massive piece of shit, but he was one of the favourites. Rest in peace, Deep Bro. Yes, and then we get into the Oval Office fight between Homelander and Butcher. Scorched Earth, as it's called. A lot of people were expecting this to be quite literally a scorched earth, like they were going to go out into the streets and just cause absolute carnage. This show does not have the budget of a Marvel movie. I don't know why people were expecting that. This is a streaming service TV show. So I feel like I saw on my Twitter after this finale came out, the people reacting to this are so upset with how this went down, and a lot of disappointment, people saying it's absolute trash. It's not, that's just Twitter for you. People were expecting massive set pieces in a streaming service TV show. Yes, obviously The Boys has a higher budget than most, but it's nowhere near the level of budget you're going to get for a film. So I feel like that was quite unfair criticism to be happening with this, and I thought that this setting in the Oval Office was fine. Butcher and Homelander getting their face to face, I liked that it was intimate. I liked that it was between them. It was settling the score between these two characters that we have been yearning for this entire show. So I thought that the Oval Office was perfect because of how confined and intimate it was. Obviously, Kimiko was there as well with the chest blast, of course, because that's the whole reason they're able to fight him, because they have the ability to get rid of his powers. Personally, I've never cared for Kimiko as a character, and she got quite a big play this season. Her writing was really odd, especially near the start of the season. It sounds like they were ADRing every line that she was saying. There was a weird dialogue mix or something was up anyway, and it just sounded really off, and everything that she said was porn coded. Basically, it was just graphic nonsense for no particular reason, and it made me like her even less. And the whole build up is supposed to be between her and Frenchie. You're supposed to really care about their relationship and feel bad for her that she has had such a tough life and all she wants to do is settle down with Frenchie. But just the way that they wrote her and the dialogue that she was having to spit during this season was just awful. Like, it was just really unfunny, crude for the sake of being crude, which I know The Boys loves doing, but normally it is funny. So, I don't know, it just felt like every time she was talking about eating a bag of dicks, it was just like, oh, again, really? You know what I mean? I wasn't a fan of her at the best of times, and this season did not help, and because she was such a big player towards the end, I feel like that kind of threw me off a little bit. So, Butcher and Homelander going at it, great fight. Kimiko joins in, gets battered, it's going fine, and then just as she's starting to power up and he tries to fly away, bang, Ryan comes in, great. Love that he was able to come in and just finally be like, you know what, even though he is my dad, fuck this guy, he has got to go. So that was all great. Kimiko has a little moment with Frenchie's ghost or whatever. Fine. I mean, again, character growth. It wasn't rage the whole time, it was love. You know, standard stuff. I saw that there was an issue online. People were talking about the power scaling in this fight, considering 5 minutes before this fight happens, Homelander flies somebody up and down to space in the space of 5 seconds. So they're kind of like, he should be able to get out of there a lot faster. It is what it is. Do you know what I mean? Power scaling is always inconsistent in this stuff. It just happens, you know? You need characters to do certain things. There's a little bit of inconsistency. Get over it, okay? It's fine. Ryan joins in. They're absolutely battering each other. And then bang, Kimiko's chest blast goes off. And who knows what's going to happen. Homelander wakes up. Butcher wakes up. He tries to laser him. He can't do it. I thought that was great whenever he starts to try and do his takeoff. And because he has this... I don't know if this was intentional, the fact that they gave him such a weak-looking takeoff position. Like he's doing like a breaststroke in the air to try and leave. And whenever he's doing it and doesn't end up flying out of it, it makes him look so pathetic. And I love that. I thought it was great. Just the silence while he's just jumping in the air, I thought was absolutely fantastic. And then, of course, Butcher just beats the shit out of him. And I thought it was absolutely perfect. Anthony Starr, I think, did a great job of portraying Homelander's feelings in that moment. Saw everybody online complaining about the dialogue, but this is a man who truly believed that he was God. And he has been whittled down to less than nothing in a matter of seconds. What would your mental state be like at that point? This man had it all until 2 seconds ago, and now he is literally staring death in the face. of course you're going to crumble and cry like a little bitch and say whatever you can to try and get out of it. So I thought that was absolutely perfect, and I loved just how weak and pathetic he ended up looking. It was perfect death for the perfect villain. I was very, very happy with how this went down. So then after this, there's like a little bit of news briefings. You find out that Ashley gets impeached. I mean, that's kind of funny, and then that's the end of her story. So, I mean, I was satisfied with Ashley's stuff. And now we're getting into the back end of the finale. And this could have done with being a little bit more fleshed out, but I honestly didn't have as many issues with it as I thought I was going to. So the boys are done. Butcher has succeeded and has killed Homelander. What's he going to do? They go back, they chill out, having crack, being like, we finally did it. Lots of stuff gets wrapped up with Vought. Stan Edgar's back in charge. It's all good. Butcher then has a conversation with Ryan and asks him if he wants to start again with him. Ryan rejects him, and Butcher goes upstairs to find that his dog is dead, and then flips a switch and is like, you know what, fuck this, all Supes are going to die. One of the main critiques with this is that people are comparing it to another season finale, I think we know which one, where the character just flips very quickly. However, again, is media literacy dead? How are people not understanding what is going on in this guy's brain? He has had a goal this whole show to kill Homelander to avenge what happened to Becca. He's done that now. So his whole goal is done, and he still is a fucked up person because of everything that he's had to do. So he thought, okay, at least I'll have a chance to start over again with Becca's son, Ryan, and we'll move from there. Ryan says no and rejects him, so he literally has almost nothing left except his dog, which is the last thing that him and Becca had, and he goes upstairs and his dog is dead. This man literally has nothing to live for anymore, nothing to drive him anymore. It was the drop that overflowed the cup, you know what I mean? But people online are like, oh my god, his dead dog made him go mental. It's not John Wick, okay? You need to read into this stuff. I don't know. I shouldn't have looked at Twitter before recording this video, actually, because everybody on there is just a moron. But we move. So yeah, Butcher flips and tries to kill all Supes by releasing the virus inside Vought Tower. Huey goes to stop him. They have a nice, intimate conversation, and Huey ends up shooting Butcher and killing him. And I thought that the way that they handled Butcher's death was actually really well done. You see just before Huey kills Butcher that he has a moment of hesitation and actually might do the right thing for once. Huey shoots him, and then Butcher tells Huey, you were never going to be able to stop me, I was going to do it anyway. And I think that little moment of redemption in Butcher before he dies was perfect. I thought it was really, really well done, and shows us that maybe he wasn't such a bad guy the whole time after all. You know what I mean? It was just a little hint of, okay, maybe there is something inside this guy that's still alive. Maybe his heart isn't completely black. And I thought that was quite a nice touch. And especially because of everything that he's been through with Huey. And as he said before he died, he's a spit of his younger brother. I think it was just quite a nice moment to not fuck over Huey, basically, and showed that he did care the whole time. And then the end of it is just sort of like a little recap with everybody. So MM gets remarried, has a family, takes Ryan in. Great, good for him. Glad that happened. Nice little bow. Kimiko goes to France, to Marseille without Frenchie. That's just kind of sad, I can't lie. But again, I didn't really care about Kimiko, so we'll say that's fine. And Huey ends up going back to the store that he worked at before. Annie is pregnant. They're happy. All is good. And she gets to be the hero that she has wanted to be the whole time, which is great for Annie. Huey's happy. He's found the love of his life. He's about to have a kid. He's back in the store. Everything's great. Yeah, so did it stick the landing? Yes, in my opinion it did. I really enjoyed it, and I think the reason that I enjoyed it was because it was good for what it was. And what I mean by that is because season 5 as a whole was such a mixed bag and sort of the setup wasn't great, by the time you actually got to the finale, I think that it delivered as well as it could with what it had to play with. I think that they landed every beat perfectly based on the setup that they'd had before. They stuck the landing for me with what they had to work with. And obviously, Intentional as fuck, possibly. Maybe they had this finale in mind and everything that they wrote before had to be done in order for this finale to be satisfying, in which case, fair play. So yeah, the boys did it. They did it. They actually didn't fuck a finale, which is very rare these days, and it means that I'll actually recommend that people watch this show. I was so scared going into this as well. I was so scared. I've been hurt too many fucking times by finales, so I was very happy that this went as well as it did. And the issues that I had with it are minimal compared to how much fun that I had while watching it. My heart rate was through the roof while watching the Oval Office fight. I was very satisfied whenever Homelander died. Whenever the credits rolled and all the photos of the crew and stuff came up, I was like, you know what? Fair play. You've actually done a good job. I would recommend The Boys as a show in general. Definitely worth checking out. Again, don't know why I'm recommending it to you after you've watched this, considering you literally know what happens now, but here we go. I just wanted to come on here and share my thoughts quickly about the show because I've been watching it since it first started airing in 2019, and I'm very glad that I can now say that yes, the boys did stick the superhero landing. So please like the video and subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this, and I will see you next time.